Come on, guys. Well, hello there again, rum lovers. Today is September 30th. This will probably not be up on YouTube until October 1st because, quite frankly, these things take a long time to download. So it's not as convenient. You kind of have to sit there and refresh it. I'm just doing it from my phone. You have to refresh it, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So probably won't be up until tomorrow, October 1st. But today is our last rum review of the season. Yeah, I put that deadline out there for October 1st because then we're going to jump into some whiskeys and some bourbons and some scotches. More winter, fall type of spirits. I don't do a lot of the gin and vodka as we've talked about before, but moving into some dark ryes, corns, whiskeys. Today is our last rum. Today actually was inspired by, or this review was actually inspired by a viewer who had asked me, recommendations for some whiskeys. Jimmy Mac. Hello, Jimmy Mac. This one's for you. He asked me about some rums because he's a self-proclaimed new rum drinker. And, what I would recommend, it's something that may not really break your wallet, I think is how he put it. And Zacapa 23 came to mind, along with a few others. But the reason I chose to do this is because I went back and looked, and I had reviewed XO, their high-end bottling, but I hadn't reviewed the 23. And the 23 is a very, very easy to find rum. At least, again, I'm speaking for my part of the country. Very, very easy to find in a mid-priced bottle. I think you can pick this up here in my part of the country for about $46, $47. I'm sure it varies a little bit one way or the other. But, it's not a $100 bottle. It's not a $20 bottle. But the quality, in my opinion, is very, very high. Unlike most reviews, I have tried this one before. But I felt like since it's very quality, we've done kind of its big brother, if you will. And it's easy to find. I was debating between all these other rums, and I decided we got to knock out Zacapa 23. Zacapa is such a name-branded rum that I felt it was due at least a little bit of our time. So let's jump right into it. I love their whole their label, their design, their marketing. They do a really, really cool job. A nice traditional black with a golden inlay, the Zacapa. The box here is kind of supposed to mimic what you're about to see on the bottle here momentarily. And I will read you quickly the description because I think it's worth noting. The creation of Zacapa rum begins with the use of virgin sugarcane rather than molasses. That's significant. Virgin sugarcane uses only the first pressing of sugarcane, which is grown in southern Guatemala. No place is better suited to grow sugarcane thanks to its mineral-rich volcanic soil and numerous rivers that nourish the area. The difference in raw materials is noticeably in depth in the primary aromas and flavors of Zacapa. Petite weaving, handcrafted tradition. It goes into this a little bit. Basically, this is a tribute to the Mayan influence that is very heavily present in Guatemala. I'm not going to really beat this distillery down again because go back to my XO review if you want to know a little bit more about Zacapa. But they have a really unique warehouse where they store their rums called the House in the Clouds, which I think is such a cool name. And it's a very cool environment. So they're not losing as much to the angel share like most distillers in the Caribbean are. Right to the bottle. There it is. Again, it's like I said, it's kind of a band that wraps around the bottle. Earlier bottlings of 23 had this baskety band bracelet thing all the way, encompassing the entire bottle. But these, from what I've read, are actually handmade. So I think the time-consuming aspect of it just wouldn't allow for that to continue. So here's what we're left with. Still a cool look, I think. It is a Solera rum, which means, You know what? We've talked about that. Unlike most bottles, we do have kind of that wine bottle, that divot, that cupped bottom, if you will, for what that's worth. Other than that, I would say it's a pretty average presentation. Let's jump right into this bad boy, shall we? You know I can't resist. Like I said on my XO review, the difference between this one and the XO is simply that the XO gets an additional couple more years in cognac casks. Give it a little bit of a different influence with the flavor. Remember this stuff, guys. Anything good, I highly recommend picking up some of your private reserve to help preserve these spirits. Oh, and also the 23. The 23 on Zacapa XO, I think, is a bit deceiving. Most of the time, the age statement on something really speaks to the youngest spirit in that bottle. From what I've read, 23 is actually the oldest. There are blends of rum up to 23 years old. I would be very surprised if you get a 23-year-old rum for $45, $46, $47, but just thought that was a little deceptive, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. And on the color, oh man, what an absolutely breathtaking rum. Wow, that is what you want when you're buying a rum. Look at that, just almost chocolatey. I mean, just little bits of gold there towards the edges, but just absolutely almost like a liquid penny is what you're really getting in this one. On the nose, it's just, I don't know what it is, but it screams Zacapa. If you've had Zacapa, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of these rum producers have that distinguishable aroma or flavor, obviously, but Zacapa is one that fits that bill, and it's a wonderful, wonderful nose. It's almost like I'm going to say this, and it sounds bad, but it's almost like a musty smell off the top. You get oranges, obviously vanilla, caramels, toffees. I'm not getting any chocolate. Man, wonderful, wonderful nose. Okay. I took a bigger sip, pardon me, than usual. It's a nice rum. It's a really nice rum. It envelops the cheeks. You're getting some fig, some butter, almost a walnut, pecans, whatever you want to go with. I get the molasses. I know they say they use virgin sugar cane. I guess I just maybe don't know what virgin sugar cane is supposed to taste like. The closest I can come describing it is that molasses flavor. It's a nice rum. Very nice rum. Score-wise, I'm going to go ahead and score Zacapa 23. Two numbers I'm debating back and forth. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Very nice rum. Doesn't knock my socks off, but for most people, it will knock your socks off. I'm a little snobby when it comes to rum. But it's nice. It doesn't have an extremely long finish. I kind of deduct a few points there. It has a bit of some oak, a little bit of over oakiness for my liking, but a very, very nice rum, all the same. Thank you all very much, guys. That will go ahead and wrap up rum season. Like I said, I'm kind of bummed about that, but I'm sticking to it. Gosh darn it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed another spirit review with your whiskey coach. I look very, very forward to the fall and winter when you may be hearing a little one crying upstairs, as my wife is due in, I guess, 3.5, 4 weeks here now. So be ready for that. If I'm off for a while, that's probably why. So thank you guys again very, very much. I love doing this, and I hope you love it as well. Thanks again, and I will see you soon. Until then, class is up. I'm just going to lean over and knock this out.